Hi all of you, back with another video on protocols of OSI model. Who folks haven't watched my previous video of OSI model, so I will suggest you to watch that first before watching this video. So video is coming up, you can click the link and go on that video. So now I am explaining all the layers, so one by one. So let's jump on first layer, which is our application layer. So application layer, let's take a scenario that you are sending a mail to someone. At that point that you are using some application, so you are using a web application for sending that email. So so that is your application layer, and in that layer your http and your ftp and your telnet protocols are working there. So you have to note it down if you are making notes, so you have to note it down. Now coming up to the second layer, which is our presentation layer. So presentation layer, I told you that in last video that with an example, that presentation layer is used to translate the data. Like I have given an example and explained you that there is a French document. So there is a French document, and presentation layer do that. It is going to uh, someone who understand English, so it translate the data. So now in the real scenario, what does like I'll show you. So now let's just take an example that there is a docs file. So what this means, when a file ending with this format, it means that it is an document. If you open and click that file, it opens it opens automatically as a document. It will not open as an mp3 or a pdf or anything else. So if there is at the end of that file, if there is mp3, it means if you click on that file will open automatically into the mp3 player. So why this is happening automatically? Because there is a presentation layer is working where the data is translating. So where encryption and decryption is taking place. It means that the format is predicted. If there is nothing docs or mp3 or any format at the end, if there is just like file, if there is just like file 1, and there is not anything at the end of that document, so when you open that file, it will show you it is unsupported file, and it will give you error. So it means, so that is the work of presentation there. So you can see here it is used for encryption and decryption of data. And now move on to the next, our next which is session layer. So this layer makes end-to-end connection with another session layer, which means that I have told you, uh, in this I will show you, this is the real diagram. So like this is the session layer of the senders, and assume that this is also a session layer of the receiver. So the session layer will make connection to each other, and once the mail got to the got when the receiver got the mail, it means the work is done by the session layer. Now the connection will be break. So it is end to end connection. Now we will all talk about the transportation layer. And in this layer, segmentation takes place. It means that the data is divided into smaller parts, so that if some data will get lost on the going process, so it will be not a huge loss, it will some loss of for the data. This job is done by the transportation layer. And you also have to memorize that it is a heart of OSI model, which means you can say that this is software layer and this is the hardware layer. These are the hardware layers, and these works on software layers. And this is the transport, you can see here. So this is the transport layer, and it is the heart of OSI model. So the protocols which work on this layer are TCP and UDP. So now let's just move on the next So next is our network layer. So what is the responsibility of network layer? So responsibility of network layer is to make sure that is the address of from and what is the address of to. It means it is going from my side and it is going to your side, which means that the from it it makes sure that all the IP addresses are correct, and it is connecting all the IP address are all the IP addresses are correct or not. It means that my IP address is correct and to which I am sending, so that IP address is correct or not. So that responsibility of network layer and all the router work and all the stuff that is going on is on the this layer, because it is the network layer. So you can also relate that router takes place on this layer. So now let's just move on the next layer, which is our data link layer. I have told you in my last video that what is the work of data link layer. So data link layer has a work of so this layer has work of making seal on the data. It means no one can read that data, so it puts in a form of that that no one can read the data. So the main function of data link layer includes framing and error detection and correction. It means if some error is there which is done by the physical layer, or which can be occur while on the physical layer, so it is this data link's responsibility to identify that and correct that. So now you can see here there is data link layer and it is on the hardware layer. Now let's just move on to the next slide. Our last and the seventh layer is physical layer. So what is the main purpose of physical layer? So physical layer is responsible for end-to-end communication. Means it is responsible to deliver the data to other physical layer of the receivers. Data gets converted in the form of bits, so it is physical layers responsibility to convert that data into bits, synchronization of bits, and helps to transmission into medium decision direction of data transfer, which means that it is physical layers duty to convert them into bits uh, and deliver the data to another physical layer of the receivers. So you can understand that now the receivers data, so now the receiver's physical layer uh, read that data in the bits in the form of bits, and then the whole process goes up. So you can see now at the sender's side, so the data goes like this, and the receiver side you can see that the data goes like up. So yeah, that's about it, and I just want to tell you all that what protocols are used in each layer. So now I will explain some protocols in my future videos also, like TCP, because it is a very complex and also important protocol, so everyone has to know that, and it is the base of networking, so you should know. So yeah, that's about it. If you want to read, if you want to make notes of this presentation, if this definition, if you want to read that, I will make a document and link is in the description of that document for this video, so you can check it out also. So yeah, now I'm signing off. I will meet you in my next video.